few months ago on this channel, I started a series where I was going to document the process of me building my own SaaS. I took you from the day we launched it, staying up to nearly 4 a.m. working on bugs, onboarding the very first users to the app and growing it for the weeks to come. And I'm making this video because we've crossed over 1 million users for my SaaS. We actually crossed it quite a while ago and I posted about it on Twitter and it went completely viral. But I'm making this video to show you A, what the current state of the app is, B, what my plans are to go ahead and further grow the app, and C, what strategy I used and I'm going to continue to use to go ahead and garner this much attention for my app. And like I said, I've been completely transparent about this entire process. And also I have a video guide that I'm going to be giving to you guys for completely free. I'm going to drop it at the end of the video. Without further ado, let's jump onto my laptop and check out the analytics. Okay, so we're at my computer and I've hit over 1.5 million users for my SaaS. So like I said, I'm going to break down how, but just to give you the exact date, at the time of recording this, it's the 30th of September, and I actually hit 1 million users on August 31st. This is on my X account. Once again, that's linked down below if you want to check it out. I post on here pretty frequently, way more frequently than here, so I'd highly recommend you check it out because I also do breaking down videos on there as well that has a ton of insights. But as you can see, August 31st, I posted that I hit 1 million users. It did pretty well, 40k views, and also I did another tweet showing the analytics just crossing 1 million users. But now let's break down the actual strategy. So very simply, you can see how the graph is going up and down. That is because there's a cyclical type of nature when it comes to this app, meaning the traffic is lower during the weekdays and higher on the weekends. That's just the nature of this app. That's why it's so like up and down like a roller coaster, so to speak. Now, some insights, some of our highest days have been in like the 35 to 40,000 range. We haven't cracked 40,000 yet. I believe this is the highest day at 39,382. So we were just shy of 40,000 users. But let me break down the actual outlook and mindset I took towards this app that I've also documented in the YouTube series I referenced at the beginning. I literally did this from the beginning and you can go back and watch it. And I basically explained my entire strategy up until this point. So very simply, the app leverages other people's traffic. So I go to people with traffic, I resolve a problem for them. And with my solution, they plug and play into their funnel and I garner their traffic. We monetize it. We also monetize them as well. And overall, that's what amounts to this traffic. Now, the strategy I personally took is we targeted to one particular niche. It's actually a sub niche, but we just know there's a lot of traffic there. And we engineered the solution to work for them. So we did some beta testing or like some very light testing. So if I go to like, you can see this day, this was like just at the start of the launch, but prior to this, we had like 200 users on the site because we were working with a select few people to go ahead and actually vet out the app to a point where it's good to go, so then we can push it out to the general public. So like for example, the first official day was 564, then it jumped to 2,500, and it jumped straight up to 22,000. Sorry, 13,228, then to 22,387. That's because we nailed down the exact way the app should be for that particular niche, and then we just reached out to loads of people in that niche via cold outreach. Now, if you're wondering how to do cold outreach effectively to this scale, I have a video within my free founders community. It's linked down below. I highly recommend you go and check it out. Now, I'm going to touch on the retention part of this graph because as you can see, the traffic has been retained quite well. Now, the way in which we did this is by regularly speaking to users and understanding their feedback and understanding what we need to implement. I'll give you an example. I cold outreach to someone within the first few days. There was a simple feature, simple in quotation marks, that we didn't have that I was very keen to implement. So I implemented it on the spot within like 1 to 2 hours. And during that conversation where I was trying to onboard them, they saw that as a positive thing and then they onboarded. So it's extremely important to factor in their feedback and also start to shape the user experience based on what they want, providing of course it's net positive for the app. And then what you're going to start to see is the app take shape through the user's feedback, and that allows for this retention because there's going to be a lot of people in their position that want similar things. And once you really nail down a solution for their pain point, you're going to be able to retain a lot of users because they're all coming to you for the same problem and they're looking for the same solution. That's what led to a lot of this retention. Now, as you can see here, it is dropping off slightly, and now we have a few ways we're going to address this. And at the time of recording this video, it's like perfectly timed. Tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping the brand new addition to the app, and that's going to help with retention and also growth. And I've touched on this on X. There's actually a video that you're seeing on screen. I recorded this, but I got more in depth. That's on X. I'll also link that down below as well. But it's on the topic of gamification. Now, what I mean by gamification is putting things into the app that's going to encourage progress from the user. So like I said, this app leverages traffic. There's ways to leverage the internal analytics we have in the app to increase the retention through gamification, so badges. You know, when you hit X milestone, you get a badge. When you're competing against other people in the app, so let's say you have X analytics or X metric. If that metric is bigger than other user, you get higher in the leaderboard. This type of gamification, we've tested it on a very small scale and it does seem to respond quite well. So I've fully fledged out an ecosystem that I'm going to be pushing tomorrow, and that's going to bring not only a lot more people to the app, but also help them stay there and also have elements of competition. It's just human nature. When you're competing with someone, you're actively going to push yourself because you're not only working for yourself, you're working to try and beat other people. And it's all going to be public, and I'm very happy about how this ecosystem has come together, and I'm very excited to push it. So that's going to help a lot. But as I said, this should help with retention, and we're looking to obviously scale this way up. Truly, this is like one of the craziest journeys I've had when it comes to like anything YouTube related. I made this series just to kind of talk you through the whole journey, and somehow we've ended up here where we had 1.5 million users, you know, like just over 3 months later, because it started on June 25th and I'm on September 30th. Truly very appreciative. I'm very glad I documented this whole thing, but this should give you more insight into how the app's doing and what the strategies are going forward. So I hope that gives you more insight into how I went from 0 to 1 million users, and also my plans to go ahead and continue to grow the app further and beyond. I'm also considering lessening the frequency of these types of videos to focus on different content styles on this channel. So you're going to see a ton of new type of content coming to this channel very soon. But before we conclude today's video, I did promise you a free guide. This guide is part of a collection of videos that I've made in my free founders community, and I give all these resources for completely free. All you need to do is join at the link down below. I hope to see you in there.